Inda. Barmeni.
If you look at Zulu Man with Some Power, that's not real Zulu stuff. That's the art cover looks like Chronicles of Narnia. Big Zulu Man with Some Power album, right? Which has got
Chronicles of Narnia.
You know, it's got what's this, Ari Lennox or whatever on the album, and the picture that they used is an old picture from another photo shoot. So they just took any random picture from one of his photo shoots, made it his album cover, made it Chronicles of Narnia, clean. They've got all these international features, and they think, damn it, how are we going to make this appeal in the States? Oh, let's call it Zulu Man with Some Power, so that they think that it's actually African, and it's got no Africanness in it.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit mstudios.co.za.
Inda, Barmeni, ladies and gentlemen, what's up, one? What's happening? We are back. Back by popular demand. His name is Nota.
You know when you got the headphones on, you're having fun by yourself. Because like...
you got your shit.
Now I have to watch this thing.
Yeah. How you doing, Nota?
I'm chilling, bro.
I don't know what to call you, man.
Nice.
Must I call you the Steve Biko of hip-hop, the authority, the
Steve Biko of SA Music. That's what Arthur Mafokate called me.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that's your title now?
No, that's what Arthur Mafokate called me.
What's your title?
I don't know if Arthur Mafokate has got the right to call me that. I don't know.
What are you busy with now? Because I know you like a producer, you manage artists, well, you used to. Labels.
Yeah, that's the thing. I ran a label, that released the best selling hip hop album of all time.
Which was?
Dakar 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you busy with now?
I run the South African office of the world's biggest music distributor, which is the Orchard. Which means that I get to distribute and sell music by groups such as BTS, who are from Korea, big K-pop group, or even on our local shores, artists such as Saudi, who is the most streamed rapper on Spotify from
Saudi?
South Africa. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. It's a Saudi is like he's got like 1.3 million streams on Spotify monthly. The guy next best to him is Nasty at 600,000.
Damn. That's a huge gap.
It's a huge gap.
And then what's the laptop for?
we just gotta fact check, we just gotta make sure that we're on point, you know what I mean? But I don't have it for long.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. That's what I've been doing. I've been heading that up, which is a nice new challenge. And is exciting, I guess. You know what I mean? It's bigger than what I was doing before. Which is just running one label and releasing one artist in particular for a long period of time. Although, I produced many other artists as well. Just having dedicated almost since 2008, maybe 2009, I'll say officially 2009, having dedicated 10 years. 2009 until March 2020. That's over 10 years. And within that, I guess we helped catalyze a lot of change, especially when it comes to hip-hop in the pop game. So, that's mainly what I've been up to. And yeah, also being the authority on the Twitter streets, just,
Why do you call yourself the authority, bro?
Because like the authority, what is the authority? It's like the guy who runs shit. I've been running hip hop in South Africa for like close on 10 years.
For real, MacG?
Yeah.
One man?
Not one man, but I've been running it. Yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of people that are involved. You know what I mean? It's nothing that happens just by one person's doing. But I mean, like, like what is happening in hip hop right now is stuff that I set up many years ago. You know what I mean? Like everything. When you see the Nasty C's of today, you think that 12 years ago I was launching the Elias Tippy Toes. His
fire.
album. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like bringing that to the club scene, setting that up, you know what I mean? The venues started booking hip hop DJs from that point onwards, you know what I mean? This was 12 years ago. This was before what is happening right now. People buying Gucci today because of shit that I was doing 12 years ago. So, I mean, that's about it. And now, like, I used to run the rap game, and now, like, I got to do bigger things. Like, now I need to effect change on, like, an industrial scale of the whole entire South African music industry. And starting from what was happening in the past and also going into the future. So, not just music, there's podcasting as well, which is also a big thing. Which I'm very, observant of. Like I consume a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, you were telling me about the Michelle Obama one.
I just listen to the Michelle Obama podcast so that I can hear what women think, like just to understand. Like for me, it's like I used like social media as a tool to basically figure out everybody's opinion about everything. You know what I mean? So I'd read everything. Every post, every comment, on every single video, on anything that I worked on, anything.
Doesn't that make you go crazy, dog?
Nah, not me. So I'd see each and every single thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I started, like the first thing I did was I built the social media for Squatter Camp. I built the social media for Slicker. I built the social media for Sugar Smacks. I built the social media for Kwesta. The whole entire like strategy, how it was rolled out, what it was used for, the whole entire plan, doing the analytics, you know what I mean? Like, and also monetizing, using those accounts for influencer campaigns to monetize. I think like the first big social media campaign that we did back in maybe 2010 was BlackBerry. It was like 150,000 Rand, 1 month long social media campaign. You know what I mean? And I did all the execution for it. This was like back in the day. So imagine like
for
Slicker. For Slick.
For Slick,
yeah. He got 150K just off a social media campaign back then.
Damn.
Just for 1 month, I was so nice with the BlackBerry people. I was even like, yo, what's your latest phone that's about to come out? They're like, no, we got this new phone called the BlackBerry Torch. I was like, yeah, no, this guy from K1, his name is Kwesta. Give me one for him. And he had like the first white BlackBerry Torch in the country. You know what I mean? Like, so, from building social media and working out how digital media works, I've been able to basically understand the opinions of all the people who are digitally connected or digitally savvy. You know what I mean? And know what products work for them, know what music they like, know what's they like to dance to, know what they like to drink, everything.
So following that, do you think you're in touch with what this generation?
Even
this generation?
Yeah.
My 2000.
Even my 2000. I'm very in touch with what they're doing.
What do they like?
That's
what are they
like,
into?
So that's like, my 2000, the thing about my 2000 is that they're like us. Okay, well, I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah.
I'm not like you. So I'm like Nasty and them. We are 90s babies. So for us, I mean, like we had access to technology, access to our own opinion, access to information at a very young age. We were very connected. Like from high school, we had cell phones and stuff like that. The kids of today, it's very different because they've got access to the entire world of information from a very young age. You know, they've got access to their own opinions and everything else, but they have no power whatsoever. It's like, imagine knowing how to drive, but having to wait 20 years before you can drive. Like we learned how to drive like 3 years before we could get a license. They're learning how to drive at age 5. And they're being held back and they're seeing the world and you know what I mean? So they've got this great sense of like being adults and the whole world holding them back. And for us, I mean, like when you were 14 or whatever, you worked at the video store. Yeah. But now you can't work at the video store because the guy might be a pedophile or, you know, you might get raped hopping out of a taxi. So, you know, parents basically like shelter their kids from everything nowadays. So they feel like adults at a very young age and they feel like they know better than everybody else, you know what I mean? But they've been so sheltered that they haven't experienced the real world and real life.
So how do you explain a kid like Nasty C
That's exactly the thing.
Who's been able to
feel
overcome
like an
that?
adult? No, you haven't overcome it. You haven't overcome it because you become famous. You understand? Now, all of a sudden, you're surrounded by people who orchestrate your whole entire life. You know, you're a child. You're under parental guidance.
So you think Nasty C is a child?
Not that I think. He is. I mean, do you speak to him on the phone? No, you speak to his handler or his parent or whoever, you know what I mean? And they deliver him to you and then clean and then they take him back and then, you know what I mean? Like, that's why he was saying, no, you know, Nota's got no access to me. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, I've had the same number since 2006. You know what I mean? And, you know, he knows I've never changed my number. He can get my number. Everybody in the industry has my number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, if you want to contact someone like that, you can find them. But I mean, if you're in a sheltered, secluded space where you can only be contacted through your handlers or your managers, and they are much older people as well, and you don't get a real sense of the world. You know, and you know this from when you were a child star on TV, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get a real sense of whether people actually mess with you or not. Everyone wanted to be your friend and whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, that's the whole entire thing, is that
where the beef with you and Nasty stems from?
It's not a beef. I don't have a beef with him.
Okay, what is it called?
No, I'm coaching him. I'm coaching him. It's because, like, he's not challenged. It's too easy. The music he makes just shows that he's not challenged. He's just doing the same old thing because he's told it will work. And then, like, when he releases music, the label just prints plaques out of numbers that come from nowhere just to make it seem like they're doing a great job and they're doing something, you know what I mean? Just to keep up an illusion. And it's all like an illusion. And, like, I'm so concerned because he's such a young person, and South African hip-hop industry, and I told you, like, I played a very big role in constructing what it is today. It's so small that anyone can tip it the wrong way, and they did that. I don't blame his current label. You know, it's all Mabala noise.
Right now, isn't he signed to Def Jam?
I mean, but he's still with Mabala noise. It's either way. Mabala noise is still involved. That's how the record business works. It's very complicated. So the artists don't understand how this stuff works.
But that's why you're here to break it down for us.
You understand? So the artists don't understand how this stuff works, and
so
the people around them keep them in a state where they don't know what's going on.
So how is Mabala still signed?
So Mabala obviously had a deal with Universal.
Okay.
And Universal is the owners of Def Jam.
Yes.
And so that doesn't mean he's with Mabala. And then they've got a deal with Universal, and Universal has passed them on to Def Jam in the States. But Mabala's still in the cuts there. They're still getting their piece. They still own the music. They signed him.
So it's like going to Taboo and Cocoon. It's the same thing.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Taboo and Cocoon, or what's the other club that they bought in Durban? They bought another club, the Taboo Group. It used to be Plush. It used to be Plush Diamonds in Durban, 47, and Intersight, whatever. Yeah, so that was Taboo Group as well. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing. So It's just being passed on from one to another. You know what I mean? So, and that's my thing, is that's my concern. And it's like...
That's crazy, man. When I hear about the Def Jam deal, I'm like, fuck, niggas gone, is out of here.
Yeah, but that is true. You are gone. That's how big of a deal it is. But now if you're gone and you're out of here, but you don't have a rootedness in your South African identity, you're going to be blown in the wind in the States, bro. It's not going to end well. It's going to end in tears. You know what I mean? You need to do it right. You need to have your rooting. You need to be strong. It's not like he's doing something that we haven't seen being done before. You know what I mean? Lucky Dube sold 1 million records. He was signed to Motown.
Before social media,
before any of the stuff. Lucky Dube is still the most streamed African artist to this day.
Wow.
Right now. He's been dead since 2007.
Damn.
Nasty was 10 years old then.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that was my concern. It's like it's been a very big concern since he signed to Baloyi, because obviously when he did that whole entire deal, it was like a shortcut to get to where all the other artists, where the MTs are, because they're like, okay, Ambitious has got, Ambitious came into the game, big budgets, blowing everything out of the water. And, like the guys at Ambitious, it wasn't just that they had more money, it's just that they had a guy who knows the music, who knows what he's doing, you know what I mean? And that's why they've been so successful for so long. Baloyi hasn't been able to maintain it, It was just the money, really.
So when you see this happening, don't you, as a big brother, like you say, give him a call?
I did. I've spoken to the cats, I've spoken to the cats, said, yo, it's not the way to roll, it's not the way to do it, but now we're out, you understand? And now we have to compete head to head. So how do we compete head to head? Okay, fine. Listen, I've got an artist that I'm marketing and promoting and everything else. And they release music. Baloyi releases Nasty's music or whatever. We go to the Metro FM Awards. Nasty's nominated 4 times. Kwesta's nominated 4 times. Nasty wins 4 awards. Kwesta walks away with nothing. That's Baloyi shifting the entire balance. A guy who's been working in the game for so many years, released the Ngutus, the Maibabos, the Nyasfela Ngawes, like big smash hits, had the best-selling album of all time. You know what I mean? In hip-hop, sold over 300,000 copies, dog. That's like Zahara numbers. You understand what I'm saying?
So you reach out to him, he's not trying to...
No, it's not even about reaching out, because at that point you're already with Baloyi, you're already on that side. I've reached out. This is Metro FM Awards, I don't know, when was it, 2017 or whatever. You know what I mean? Baloyi, obviously, they were like, and we knew that was what's going to happen. And then at the Summers, I was like, shit, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again. So the first thing, when he got nominated at the Summers, I called him up. I said, no, he got nominated for 2 music videos that shouldn't have qualified.
Yeah, I remember you said this in the manager's episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So please disqualify them. And they did. And at the end of that award show, Kwesta picked up 6 Summers. The last summer, which was Record of the Year, was won by Hell Nah, Nasty C. You know what I mean? That's when Babes Will Do More and Mampinja had that whole entire hissy fit. And because obviously we'd won 6 awards, we weren't going to be like, Ngotu didn't win. And Baloyi really, you know what I mean? We already took the L at the Metros. And the Metros haven't been back since, because everybody saw through that corruption. And if you think about, as a kid, if you're out there talented at home and you see that, oh, damn, all I need to do is sign to a label with a lot of money and then I can be an instantaneous star. Not to say that Nasty's not talented, because he's been talented. He's been like knocking on the door. He's been trying for a long time. And it just so happened that that opportunity came with Baloyi, and, he was able to take it, and it was able to see him, rise to superstardom. But at what cost?
You got a price to pay.
That is the heaviest price to pay at such a young age. Imagine if you're 23, you're now free, Like, he's not going to be free, because everything he does, a label has to pay for it, and that's an advance, that's debt. It's like in a line of credit, or a bigger line of credit, and the only way you pay back that credit.
So right now, everything that we see from Nasty is credit.
The way the record business works is that you pay back the credit with record sales. It's called recoupment. You understand? So there is a price to pay. That's why the artists are crying, saying, okay, no, the label, whatever, ambitious, is not whatever, giving me whatever money. I had this conversation with Amanda Black, and she's left ambitious. And I said to Amanda, Amanda, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. You made a deal. Live up to your deal. That is it. You know what I mean? And you look at her right now. She lived up to a deal. She did her deal. She did her album. You know what I mean? She also won 3 summers with her first album. That album was humongous. Ambitious, promoted that a lot. AmaZulu, that went out of the... there was no label that was going to do that for her. She already didn't make it on Idols. No one was going to do that for her.
So if you look at Nasty, what deal do you think, or what path do you think he should have walked?
It's not even about him, dog. If you look at Miriam Makeba, she had a terrible deal.
I want to find out from you, what is the perfect deal? Because it seems like there isn't one.
For me, there is no perfect deal. It depends what you need. If you are like what Nasty says, I make the music and then I send it to the label. If he does all that work, he makes all that music and then he sends it to the label, then he needs to at least get 70 to 80% of the money that is made when that music is sold. That's what I'm saying. That's you understand?
Yeah.
At least a good amount. Even 90%. You know what I mean? If he's really putting the music together, you know what I mean? If all they're doing is selling it, right? If all they're doing is selling it. But if they are sourcing producers for you, they are writing songs for you and everything else, then...
Which is not the case with him.
Well, he's if I'm going according to what he said, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if that's not the case, if they're making the music for you and everything else, then I understand why the labels would give you 10% or 20%, because they're doing all the work, they're finding all the songwriters, everything. You just show up on time, you sing whatever you're told to sing, you know what I mean? And you do that. And, you find groups who say, like BTS, the one that I just spoke about, like Big Hit Entertainment, they do everything for them. They find them songwriters and everything, producers and everything. And they just come and perform and they're just disciplined. You know what I mean? And in a country like Korea, maybe in Asia, that might work.
One Direction.
But that's the same thing, right? But at the same time, they've been doing so well that Big Hit Entertainment gave BTS $53 million in shares in the company. You know what I mean? So it is possible that, labels can exploit the rights of the artists, to make money. And also at the same time, once they've made a big profit, say, hey, here's a kickback, here's equity in the company. You know what I mean? They are good ways of doing things. Not to say that everything is all bad. It's just that, you get a lot of people that are so afraid. It's like we all work at the same company, right? We all do the same job. And none of us have seen each other's pay slips. So we can't even discuss if we're being cheated or not. That is the music industry.
Have you seen your pay slip, Tabang?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just if there's now 15 Tabangs, the Tabangs must know, Tabang 2, how much are you making? How? But how come Tabang, the girl, is making less than Tabang 2? You know what I mean? The boy or whatever.
That's how MacG found out that she was getting screwed.
You understand what I'm saying?
Remember the interview?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that as soon as you guys start talking, that's when you start finding, and the artists are not talking because everyone wants to keep the secret of who got screwed the worst.
So what you're trying to say is that there is no perfect deal, but at least get screwed with lube.
You understand what I'm saying? Get screwed with lube, knowing what you're getting screwed on. You understand? Knowing that, okay, I'm giving up the music rights, but at least I take 100% of the cake. So I take this, I take merchandise, I take this.
Who's doing that right now?
Who's doing it right?
According to your standards.
According to my standards, damn, that's very tough, man. Because, you know, there are very few people in this business that I feel are able to do it right.
Would you say
it's someone who's independent?
Yeah, I was about to say. Wouldn't you say someone like Cassper is doing it right? Because as opposed to Nasty, you chose to go independent.
Yeah, no, he's. You see, with Cassper, it's different because, you know, I know a lot more. And for me, it's like, he's got an opportunity. He's got the best opportunity in the world to do it so much better. He's got the best opportunity in the world. And all he needs to do for that opportunity is just, you know, put himself aside. Because his brand is not going to get any bigger than it is locally. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing is really put yourself aside and build a platform, build something that is bigger than you. Do what Jabba could not do, what Kuli could not do. You know, make Mafta and Motswako and everything like really stand up. And that means that you need not be the hottest guy. The reason why I say this is because, you know, and it's hopping back. We had a discussion between myself, Cassper, and Nati. We were at Anati's house recording. And basically, I was like saying to Cass, you know, bro, you make enough money right now to sign Nasty. And you could sign him before any of these other niggas that have got money can sign him and give him some shit-ass deal, and he'll be this super talented kid that's signed to a terrible deal, and we'll all be like, oh my goodness, why didn't we sign this kid and help him or save him before he gets entrapped by these unscrupulous people in this business? You know what I mean? Because this hip-hop thing is our thing. We weren't trying to give up hip-hop to the major labels. If you look at Cassper, he didn't sign an artist deal with the major label. Even AKA, you know what I mean? Although he's with the major label, Benza is a black person, an African person, you know what I mean? A person who helped build his career. They licensed to the major label. We were licensing. We weren't selling. We weren't giving them all the rights as hip hop, because we wanted to make sure that as soon as it starts popping, it starts bringing out big money, we own the content still. You know what I mean? So that's the way in which we're doing our deals until cats could come through and do James Bond stunts like Mabala Noise, you know what I mean? And bring in like crazy cash, you know what I mean? And so that was the thing that we were trying to avoid.
You there with Nasty?
No.
I mean, you there with Cassper and Nati.
Yeah, this is 2015.
Yeah, and what do you say?
And I say, yo, sign him. And he's like, I can't sign him because he'll look better than me on my own label. And I said to him, he'll look better than you regardless.
Hey!
No, like seriously. Like, doesn't matter where he goes. Rather he looks better here. Right here. And you know, you're feeding him, but you know, he chose to do it another way. And then what happened is that everyone picked a side. Cassper helped him out with the Juice Bag remix. AKA went on to the Roll Up remix with the Wizkid, Davido, and Cassper were on the Juice Bag. And then basically MT and were Mabala Noise and Ambitious head to head. And
you think it would have been different if he was signed under Family Tree?
Number one, we heard that Family Tree said, yo, Tsecho, if you feel like it's not working, you can leave. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So we know Family Tree. Family Tree doesn't hold on to people.
Yes.
Family Tree, we've never heard.
And it's flourishing and he's happy.
You understand what I'm saying? Tsecho's happy. He said, yo, I did what I did at Family Tree. It didn't work out the way we wanted. I've got no bad blood. I'm out. Gemini, same thing. You understand? Gemini, same thing. You know what I mean? Even Nadia as well, clean. She's like, yo, I'm down with the Family Tree. You know what I mean? I'm down. That's family.
She's killing it.
You know what I mean? She's killing it. You understand what I'm saying? if Cassper was not in the forefront, he was just chilling in the office. Nasty could be out there at Family Tree nicely,
Carrying the flag.
You understand what I'm saying? Nicely. You know what I mean?
So from what you're saying, you think it's time for Cassper to take a backseat and let the kids shine?
Well, I mean, I'm saying the music is saying that. It's not that it's the music. It's like the effort, like the music itself. Like after Tsulufelo, like I haven't really felt the same excitement, dog.
Which one was Tsulufelo?
The first one.
Which one?
The first one, the one that shook the game. The one.
Which
that
one is the
everything.
one with Destiny? That's the one I like.
You like that Destiny?
Yeah.
Over the original Destiny?
Ooh, I love it.
Okay. You see, that's the thing, is that you're a house head. But I'm telling you that
Which one is
the original Destiny. No, that's Tuto. Destiny is Tuto.
Which one is Tsulufelo? The one with
Tsulufelo is the one.
Pumagim. Oh, I was Pumagim. Yeah.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, damn, man. Like, Kusheshe, dog. Remember that Okay Malum Cool Cat verse, dog?
And it's crazy they haven't done a song since.
You understand? So that's my thing, is that if you are able to just reduce yourself and not have the biggest energy or the biggest ego or the biggest...
Do you think that's what happened with him and Ricky Rick?
Let me tell you what I saw happen. Nah. We're on a plane. We're flying to Motsepe Foundation, whatever. And I'm having an argument, and Ricky and Cassper are sitting next to each other. And basically, Cass is telling me about, how people might have sabotaged him, how when he, what was he doing? He was trying to set up Fill Up and everything else. Yeah. And he lost money and invested
the first one
money.
or the one in Durban?
I can't remember which one he was talking about. He was like, no, the whole game was against him and he lost millions. And I was like, yo, Cass, dog, you're not the only person who's lost millions. Like, stop talking like you're the only person who knows what a million is. Number one. You know what I mean? And like, Ricky was backing him up in that conversation. I was like, Ricky, don't back this thing up, dog. Because you cats are acting like you're the only people who've seen money in this whole entire game. Like, relax a bit. You know what I mean? Just like, don't feel yourselves so much,
Don't gas yourself up.
Don't gas yourselves. And like, it was me against the world and everything else. And I was like, at the end of the day, all of us are investing money in this game, and we're trying to move forward together. That's what's important. We're not investing money so that we can dominate and say we're the flyest niggas in the game. You guys are trying to be, we're the flyest niggas in the game.
But at this time, do they respect what you're saying? Do they know who you are and what you've done?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, they know. They know.
So when you say they gotta listen,
we're talking.
Okay.
We're talking. We're on the same plane, dog. You understand what I'm saying? It's Motsepe's plane. Motsepe chartered this flight. You know what I mean? And like,
so it's not a whole thing of like, who the fuck does Nota?
It's like, well, I mean, like, no, he's never said that. You've never heard Cassper say who the fuck is
Nota.
No, yeah, he would never say that. He knows exactly who I am. And so does Ricky, you know what I mean? And so does Nasty as well. You know what I mean? Even though, he knows his fans don't. So he'll come to your podcast and pretend.
Yeah.
But so that conversation, I really was like, yo, man, at the end of the day, we got to respect all our contributions to this hip hop thing. You know what I mean? And do it properly. And the reason why I was sparking that conversation, I was saying, yo, dead this beef with Keenan, like put him on your show. Put him on. Oh, this guy, imagine he wants to charge me R1 million. And I was like, yo, man, I'm sure a sponsor would pay that R1 million. You know what I mean? Put a stage on either side. At the end of the day, whatever. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you've done Fill Up the Dome. You did it. You did the dome. That was the one. You know what I mean? You're doing F&B, whatever. At the end of doing that F&B, and risking it all, after you've risked it all on everything else, you've got your homies now who are also now chipping in, who are helping you. Ricky's one of them, right? If you're doing anything like a business enterprise, it's a risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
high risk, high reward.
If you're going to bring your friends into it, and I'll say this because you know, I'm very close friends with Younger Chief.
Yeah.
And we don't do business together for a very good reason. You know what I mean? Like, I help him out with whatever he needs help with as
Was
a
this
friend.
from the get-go or just
From the get-go.
from the beginning?
Me and Younger, we're like, we're best friends. That's it.
But we're
helping each other. We worked at Bada Bing together as both, but we're not doing, you know what I mean? Because we're friends. Yeah. And that is our relationship. Wow. It's friends.
That's commendable.
It's never business.
That's commendable.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I help, we're both in the music business. We help each other. You know what I mean?
He can call you anytime.
Whatever, whatever, at any time. Yeah. At any time. You know what I mean? And, you know, vice versa. You know what I mean? I lean on him when in times of need, and he leans on me in times of need. You know what I mean?
You need a hit.
Well, a hit song. You better be careful because, you know, kids are watching this. They'll be like, you need a hit. And you're like, yo, we stay away from all drugs. Like, there's some cat, me and Younger were in a hotel in Welcome. I'm going to get back to the story I was telling. Some cat tried to offer us drugs. I think it was cocaine or something like that. And Max Hober. Yeah. You know Max Hober from Harambe.
Yeah.
He comes into this, he's like, hey, Nichezwenina. No, ha. Like, get out of this room. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't be around my youngins with this drug stuff. You know what I mean? And we've never touched, you know what I mean, any of that stuff, you know.
But you've seen it though.
That was the first time. You know what I mean? And with these guys saying, and then like, no, but even the hot girls have this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's the hot girls are the ones that, you know, if like guys who end up on drugs, it's either there were guys with lots of money who ended up offering them drugs, or they dated like a super, super famous girl who was on drugs. And the only way to be cool with her.
Have you ever dated any super like famous girls, bro?
Well, my wife is famous.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about her.
But I mean, like, ever since I got married, like my memory of what happened before then just got erased. I can't remember.
Dog, don't lie. This thing is like, every girl that's famous now, you've met them. You've had an interaction with them. Whether it was sexual or not, I don't know. But you know the girls that are in the game right now.
Well, I know them well.
Yeah?
I know that.
Catwalk, Black O.
Like, come on, dog. Like, I used to, you know, before Larry and them knew how to run clubs, I was running clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and I kept clean. I never made my way onto any lists or anything like that.
Give us one famous girl you've been with.
I never made it onto any lists. I don't have any sex tapes. I just keep it clean. Like, I decided at a very young age that I'm about the business.
But you've kissed Boiti, ne?
No.
You've never?
No. No.
Faith and Kenzie, Queen Twerk, when she was still twerking.
Dude, she was dating Younger.
Younger?
She was dating Younger. Come on, that's my best homie. That's my bestie. Kanya, she was dating Younger.
Yeah, but you gotta take one for the team.
No, she was dating Younger.
Yeah, I guess she's gonna bring her friends.
Younger, yo, man, maybe you must ask. Oh, this famous girl. I met them through him.
That's the thing.
I met them through him.
I gotta bring other famous girls, and then you gotta take one for the team. You've been with a couple, bro. I know you've been, but you won't say, ne? Because obviously you value a relationship right now and your wife.
It's not about right now. Yeah. It's like forever.
Yeah.
So
I get you always want to take it back to 2014. Let's take it back.
2014, nah. 2014, I wasn't hot, dog. You know, 2014, I left Four Ways. I went to Katlehong, K1. You know, I was really resetting up what's going to happen post leaving Bada Bing Entertainment. You know, we released Dakar. You know, I was really on a mission. I was really on a grind, man. Like, I was in the hood, like, as an anthropology project. Like, I was in K1 sleeping on someone's couch for like 2 years.
Whose couch?
One of my former business partners, who stayed in K1, like up the road from Kwesta's place, Leroy's couch. So, you know, basically.
Didn't Kwesta have a couch?
His mother had a couch. You know what I mean? I couldn't sleep on his mother's couch, you know what I mean? But Leroy's mom's couch was available because his mom was in Bushbuckridge. He runs a booking agency called DJ's Production, you know, as well. He's in the East Rand. So that's the space he's in.
All right, take us back to, before we spoke about drugs, what were we talking about, Tamang? There's that story that you're finishing.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Yeah,
Rick, yeah, you're on the plane. Yes, you're on the plane.
So no, we're on the plane.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're on the plane.
Yes, you're on the plane. Yeah.
So basically, from that whole entire point onwards, I think what happens is that, as soon as we now invest in business and we take up losses, if it's your initiative and your idea, if now I helped you out with the finances, if it falls back and you now make a loss, you lose the money.
Yeah.
Even though I helped you out, right? You lose the money. There's nothing you can do about you having lost the money. You don't have it, dog. You don't have it. But, at the end of the day, I might need you to pay me back. And if you are unable to deal with that situation appropriately or maturely enough, then I might reassess our friendship, our entire relationship as a whole. And if we started out as friends, right, I don't expect you to betray me over financial things, right? But if we didn't start out as friends, then if you betray me over financial, it's not like but we start out as friends and then you reveal, and then, that's...
So Ricky gave Cassper money.
Well, I mean, like, everyone was investing. Ricky bought how many thousand tickets? Oh, I mean, if you buy that, everybody was chipping in. That's money. That's your own money. You know what I mean? Yo, let me buy 1,000 tickets. Let me show it on Instagram that I'm buying this many tickets. Let everybody buy the tickets. Let's do this whole entire thing. So
the guy. So what it seems like to me, it was a mixture of friendship and business.
That's the thing. It was just a bad mixture of both those things.
And some of the things from the friendship went into the business side.
You understand?
Because Cassper, his show didn't go as planned. Because if it went as planned, yeah, exactly.
Everyone would be nice.
Everybody would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the thing is this. On the plane, we're talking about the shows, the other previous shows, the Orlando show that also didn't go as planned, the Dome show that also didn't go as planned. There's 2 shows that didn't make the profit that they were made. So what makes you think this third one at an even bigger venue is going to make a profit? It's like you don't make a loss and go to a bigger venue to think that you're gonna make a bigger loss at a bigger venue. The costs, the overheads are even higher. And then you go to an even bigger venue, then you're gonna even make after every concert he came out in the press conference said, I made a loss on this concert.
You're kidding me, bro.
That's what he was saying,
It was packed, dog.
But that's what he was saying. I made a loss because the things are costly. Everything is costly. You know what I mean? Everything is costly. So that is possible. And it's not your fault. You're doing something ambitious. The thing is that you're doing it for the game. You filling up the stadium, you don't do it for yourself, you do it for the game. And if you do it for yourself,
and let's not lie, that had an impact in the game.
It had an impact in the game.
Not just in hip hop.
Well, no. It just in hip hop. Because, I mean, the Yvonne Chaka Chakas of this world, they've been filling stadiums. I mean, there's been people filling stadiums, dog, for years. It's just a hip hop thing. It was for the hip hop game to get it to stadium status. But at the same time, it's not like you were able, no one as an artist has ever said, I'm going to do a one-man show at a stadium and fill it up. So no one has ever been able to do it alone. So you weren't able to do it alone. And that was the whole entire point I was trying to make in that conversation on the plane, is that, you're part of this hip-hop ecosystem. You don't do it alone. You can't fill up F&B without you featuring on Ngutu, without Ngutu being the best song you've ever been on. You can't fill up FNB and bring Kwesta on stage to perform Ngutu and think that the crowd is not going to chant Spirit until you find a DJ that's got the USB, and now you need to change your whole entire show. Even though you didn't want Cats, you wanted to put them on the lineup to show that they're supporting you, but you didn't want them to perform the one song that they wanted to promote that night. But the crowd forced you. There's now 50,000 people here in FNB Stadium that are saying Spirit, 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 Spirit. Jidena is out there in the crowd, and VIP is screaming Spirit, Spirit, Spirit.
Jidena was there.
He was the one who was posting the stories. You know what I mean? Of like, spirits. That's what shook FNB. That's what shook FNB.
And as Cassper, you don't want that because it's your show.
It's your show and someone else stole it. And it's not because they stole it because they wanted to steal it. It's because in the time it took you from Tsolofelo to fill up FNB, your music hasn't been getting better, and everybody else has been making better music. So
what do you think of the new album?
Before we even get there, I already tweeted what I think of the new album. So like, if people, I'm not going to delete those tweets. You can catch my timeline. But I mean, if you went from Tsulufelo and you did not get better, because what happened with Tsulufelo is this: you dropped Kusheshe. It's a dope song. It takes a long time to break through. It only breaks through because you drop a video. The video plays on MTV Base a lot, clean, sharp. Okay, it starts playing on other channels. All of a sudden, it starts playing on radio. You know, it's okay, Malum Cool Cat. He's the new swaggy rapper that everyone's like, oh, this guy is so nice and everything. And that's a hit. Okay, cool. Then you're like, okay, fine. I need to make a viral success this time. You start with Doc Shebeleza. You do the teaser campaign. You do it at shows and everything else. And then January the 17th, you know, you release the song, you know what I mean, gets 500,000 downloads or whatever on Data Filos and everything else, and it's a viral success. You know, it's a trap song because trap is working. We saw Ifani just dropped Millie a couple months back and fucked shit up the year before, you know what I mean, with Millie. So you also drop a song like Millie, so you bite Ifani style, you call it, you name your song after a Kwaito legend. The only Kwaito legend whose target market was 100% women, females. Doc Shebeleza, you understand? Clean, it's a big success, but it doesn't play on radio. And therefore, the success of this song that's big on the hip-hop scene is only on the internet. I intervene at that point in time, basically orchestrating the famous Kwesta open letter against, you know what I mean?
5FM.
Yeah. Basically saying, you guys didn't playlist Doc Shebeleza by Cassper Nyovest. And by doing that, you're showing that you're racist because this song has done such numbers. You know what I mean? Clean, sharp. 5FM, you know, we pulled the race card on them and everything. The only reason I did that or orchestrated that whole entire thing is that we were busy campaigning for the Metro FM Awards. So we needed something controversial. You know what I mean? Doc Shebeleza is not being played on Metro FM, on 5FM, on many radio stations. Let's do that for hip hop. You know what I mean? We're doing that on Cassper's behalf. Cool. Sharp. Do that. It starts playing on radio. You know what I mean? You know, that's the whole entire... We see from that point in time the power. That is the brand Cassper Nyovest. But we did our little, we did our little campaign and Dakar ends up winning Best Hip Hop Album at the Metro FM Awards. So that little 5FM stunt worked perfectly. Cool. Beyond that, that same year, you know, AKA releases Levels. Before he does that, there's a beef, which is the biggest song between Karakara, Doc Shebeleza, or AKA's Congratulate. So
big
obviously,
songs.
So obviously, at that point in time, you know, I told you, like, I orchestrated, I've been running all the social media accounts, you know, from Bada Bing, you know what I mean? The Kwesta social media account is like an account that basically I run and orchestrate all the marketing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So basically, clean.
Can I interview him now? Because you're not with him anymore.
I mean, you have to ask him.
Because remember you said I need to get 100,000 subscribers.
You need to get through. You know what I mean? But you know,
what happened
if he learned anything from the stuff that I taught him, he'll also tell you that wait until you get 100,000 subscribers.
What happened with you with Kwesta?
I mean, our business, the term of our business relationship ended, and you know, I just felt like rather than pursue it, I'd rather move on to other things because I felt like there was nothing more to achieve.
But you're still amicable, like...
Yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah. I mean,
there's
like,
no bad
doing
blood.
his thing. No. I've moved on to what I'm doing now, you know, and like, he's obviously played a very great part in, you know, being a center focus in the work that I've done within the industry.
Cheers. Nota can do PR answers. Are you clean?
Yeah, I can give PR answers. So, I mean, that's the thing is that, you know, everything needs to come to an end at some point in time. And
do you own like some of the songs that you co-wrote in and stuff?
Well, everything that he wrote, he publishes. So the first thing I did that I helped him do is get out of his previous publishing arrangement, you know what I mean? So that he could set up his own publishing thing, you know what I mean? Which is something that I arranged and administrated for a long time, even though I wasn't the publisher, but I was just doing that because I was just looking out for him, you know what I mean? And I do that. I look out for a lot of artists as well. We released 2 albums and a couple of singles under my label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And obviously that deal is done now. So, he's releasing now. He's setting up his own label and everything else is moving on.
When else did you speak to him?
I can't remember.
For real?
Maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
Well, basically, the last conversation we had was basically me just finding out what his future plans are. He just found out that he's about to have another daughter. So he should be having that anytime now. And just making sure that, he was in the right headspace, just giving him some advice on how to approach this whole entire COVID environment, and just making sure that, he doesn't do anything that, would be, just not in his best interest.
But dude, how do you leave a company like Rap Life that you helped build, man? That's like Len leaving the podcast, something that we started together.
I left it because, number one, I helped build it, but I didn't own it. You know what I mean? So that was one thing. And in the end, I didn't want to own it because it was too much of a burden and not so much of what my vision was. My vision started obviously with Kwesta back at Bada Bing. You know what I mean? I orchestrated the release of his first album 10 years ago. Special Request. You know what I mean? I executive produced that. You know what I mean?
Does he tell you that, listen, we've reached crossroads, or you go to him and yo, dog, I want to leave?
No, we had a meeting. We had a meeting, all of us together. You know what I mean?
Who brings up the meeting?
Well, we have meetings all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I bring up meetings. Sometimes.
So you brought up this meeting. You're like, yo, dog, this meeting.
Well, we've had meetings. We work in business. You have meetings all the time. About a whole lot of things.
Yeah, but this is sensitive, dog. You're not having a meeting.
Not really, because for me, I'd already wound myself down.
And you made him aware.
What?
That, you're winding yourself down.
Well, it wasn't about making him aware. What I did is basically I trained all the ancillary and management staff that is around him.
Okay.
Each and every single person that he would ever need for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You understand?
Went through your hands.
Was placed there by me, trained by me, instructed by me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's it. I made sure that he would never need me. Yeah. That's why I said, even the last time we spoke, I said with or without me.
Yeah.
That's what I was alluding to. I just didn't want to say, I didn't want that to be the announcement.
Yes.
Because, that's around when that happened. That meeting was just a week before we shot that episode.
Why did you say it on the episode?
There's no need.
Would have been 100,000 views now.
Nah. I didn't want it to be a headline.
I'm trying
wanted to cloud things because at the end of the day, what you don't want to end up happening is something becoming a public issue while, there's still other overarching, you know what I mean? So, that was the one thing. And
but Nota, I'm trying to see myself in that room. That's why I bring it home. It's like Len saying,
yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm trying to understand, how does that even start?
You see, so I can advise you on these situations. So, for me, the most important thing was that I always knew what was important to me. And that was the recording business, having a record label and building on that. As far as management and everything else, being on the tour, being on the road, doing all the gigging and building that business, I was willing to build that business. But that wasn't really what I was focused on, because I felt like it was very temporary. At any point in time, the carpet could be swept out from under your feet and it all disappears. So I knew that I wasn't going to invest my time in the live side of the business. So as soon as it became challenging for me, even though I had the most expertise, I knew the business well, to actually orchestrate and lead that within my own team, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to fight my own team members, even though I know better than them. You know what I mean? I'll just give them enough rope to hang themselves. So, that's what I decided to do. And so I just divested from that part of the business. And, obviously, even before, COVID hit, it just became more and more of a strain to just keep that.
Is that not a selfish act?
No, because at the end of the day, the most important thing was once the popularity is gone, once you're not gigging, I've put everything in place to ensure that at least you're making good money off of your music for the rest of your life. You'll never go broke.
So, like how you said with Yanga, you made a conscious decision from the beginning that we're not going to mix friendship and business.
Yeah.
Did you let Kwesta know that one day I'm going to leave you?
No, I mean, it wasn't about one day I'm going to leave. I think we've had discussions amongst ourselves that, we're going to do different things. You know what I mean? I think maybe he might have even said it first. It's like, you know what I mean? Obviously I'm going to want to do different things and separate things. But I mean, it's like you don't want to be attached to, basically taking care of an artist in the way I did is like babysitting someone. You're responsible for their well-being, and once you go your separate ways, you're still also responsible for your well-being, because, if a very famous artist dies broke or whatever, the first thing they say, oh, the record label did this. So, it's a very big burden. It's one that I don't wish on anyone else. That's why after doing that, that's why I did not involve myself with any other artists that I've helped out with deals or whatever. I've cut myself out of that. I've done other, even much bigger ones, big, international deals that I'm not a part of, because I don't want to now carry myself into this whole entire thing. I want to do it. It took so much from me to make everybody know who Kwesta is. It took so much from me that I don't want to ever repeat that process, because what I had to sacrifice, what I had to endure, you know what I mean? Imagine if all the doors that were closing on him were closing on my face, were breaking my nose. You know what I mean? I was the one who was getting the rejection. I was the one who was being told this shit is not good enough. You know what I mean? I was the one who was fighting for it. And you know what I mean? And I succeeded. You understand? Imagine who's going to say some little kid who started out, and spoke to an artist. I was 19 when I first spoke to Kwesta and said, yo, you're going to be the biggest hip hop artist in South Africa. I'm going to make sure of it. I was 19 when I did that, when I said that to him. You know what I mean? I promised him that.
Do you remember when I had a show at YFM? I think it was midday.
Yeah.
And I had that feature where I get local rappers to rap on international beats.
Yeah. Roger that. We made
Roger that. Yeah.
That was big. Yeah. I was busy orchestrating all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Roger that.
You know what I mean? And that's how we started with this online free download stuff, that we were just trying it out, and we were using you to basically get to radio attention on it. We got 5,000 downloads on that thing. You know what I mean? That helped us. A few years later, we were able to do 5,000 downloads in an hour of Boom Shakalak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we started with that Roger that thing. That was the first one.
And he killed it, hey?
You know what I mean? He killed it. He murdered that whole entire thing. I wish you still had it.
I wish I still had it, though.
Yeah, because we don't have it. That site, Tweet My Song, is gone.
Yeah, Tweet My Song.
Yeah. So, those were the things, orchestrating things like that, coming up with ideas like that, saying, yo, do this thing for MacG. This is just a friend of mine. Or let's do this song. Let's do a song. I've written a song. I wrote a song called Take That. Like that was the first hook I ever wrote for him. Shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is what you need to say. You know what I mean? And that hook was like basically telling everyone like, yo, this guy is the freshest thing, Mr. Cool. Everyone's going to hate on him, but he's going to prove them wrong.
When do you take that picture of him, Kid X, and Nasty sitting on the stairs?
So there's this guy, Junior Love. He's on Nasty's Origins documentary. And he's a Durban promoter. Like, he's my dude. So he's been telling me about this cat, Nasty C. Like, yo, dog, this kid is amazing. This kid is amazing. Okay, let me send you the songs. I said, yo, this kid is amazing. Dean, Clean, I want him to do a feature with Kwesta. I said, Clean, but he must pay 15,000.
Yeah. Kwesta's big at the time, ne?
No.
Oh, Kwesta's not big at the time.
Not that big, but it's big enough.
Okay.
It's big enough.
Yeah.
I'm saying he must pay 15,000. He says, no, why? This kid doesn't have money. I say, listen, doesn't pay 15,000, then he doesn't respect the song. Then he doesn't shoot a proper video for the song. Then he doesn't promote the song. So then Kwesta does a feature that's a wasted feature. And then now I need to explain to him why he did a feature with a kid who did not shoot a video, who wasted his time being in studio the whole entire time. You know, I don't want to have to deal with that. So pay the 15,000. They never paid the 15,000. You know? So.
But you took a picture still.
But I said, yo, this kid is dope. I said, yo, Senzo, this kid is dope. Trust me, I've been listening to this kid. They haven't heard the kid.
Yeah.
I said, please, take a picture with this kid. This kid is going to be huge.
Yeah.
This guy is going to be the biggest thing ever. Trust me.
Yeah.
Let's take this picture. And then, I took that picture.
Shit, man. Tell me about that tweet where you say you want to take hip-hop back to 2014.
It's not that I never said I want to take it back to 2014. They said I want to take hip-hop back to 2014. I never said I want to take it back.
What was the exact tweet?
What I'm saying is this. Back in 2014, Tsulufelo had to compete with Skanda Republic and Levels.
Okay, so that's where you go back to Karakara?
Karakara. Son of a gun. What's that?
Congratulate.
What's it? Congratulate. Run Josie. All eyes on me.
Yeah. Banner Boy before.
Boss Zonke. DJ Sleep. Do like I do. Do you remember that year? How hot was SA Hip Hop?
Yeah,
it was untouchable, unstoppable.
I had house niggas shaking.
You know,
for the first time ever.
Everybody. DJ Dimples, way up. I'm on my way up. DJ Milkshake and Anati, my own.
Chad the Don.
Nah. Nah. Maybe his mom. His mom. Not him.
I like that song, man.
His mom is the real G.
No, I like that song. I just got an EFT.
Oh yeah, with Soko.
Yeah,
you know, and Soko won a Grammy because he co-composed "Drunk in Love."
For real?
Yeah.
You kidding, bro?
Yeah, "Drunk in Love." Soko was on that.
Shit.
It's by Soko. That's his first Grammy.
So he was involved in the beat.
Yeah, and then he came to Chad the Don, made an EFT there on Chad's mom's construction site. No. You gotta respect Chad the Don's mom. Like, I respect her a lot. Like,
so you were saying, let's go back to not the era, but like,
let's go back to success. Because right now, hip hop is dead. It's garbage. It's sad, dog. It's at the bottom of the charts. Like, there's this SA hip hop blogs that prints a chart, right? And you know what they do? They take out all the international albums and all the international songs, and they say the top 15 South Africans. And if you look at the chart, they're like at number 180 something, and so
why do you think?
So they take the Apple Music chart and they say, just to make it seem as if SA hip hop is doing something, they exclude all the international songs that are doing better than us.
Why do you think it's at the pits?
Because the music is terrible. Why? Because we watched Nasty C become a success, and everyone said, oh, Nasty C is a special case. Oh, no, he can be American. Oh, no, kids need to copy him. The media basically covered Nasty C as if he's like the hip-hop messiah. You know what I mean? As if he could rap as good as Pro Kid. He can't. We know that. You know what I mean? You know? He's nowhere near as good as Pro Kid. He's nowhere near as good as Double HP. You know what I mean? And those guys are actually South African hip-hop legends. You know what I mean? The hip-hop Bantsula and the gussiness in Pro Kid. That is what actually makes South African hip hop hot and nice and pop off. If you think about what started hip hop, hip hop was started back when it started back by the Zulu nation, Africa Bambata, in the States. If you look at Zulu Man with Some Power, that's not real Zulu stuff. That's the art cover looks like Chronicles of Narnia. Big Zulu Man with Some Power album, right? Which has got
Chronicles of Narnia.
It's got what's that? Ari Lennox or whatever on the album, and the picture that they used is an old picture from another photo shoot. So they just took any random picture from one of his photo shoots, made it his album cover, made it Chronicles of Narnia, clean. They've got all these international features, and they think, damn it, how are we going to make this appeal in the States? Oh, let's call it Zulu Man with Some Power, so that they think that it's actually African, and it's got no Africanness in it.
Where is hip-hop going wrong right now?
So that is where it's going wrong. I'm telling you that hip-hop in South Africa is so small that if a guy can be as successful as Nasty C, he then basically validates all the American wannabes. That's it. He gives them, oh, damn it, he did that, and he ended up getting signed to Def Jam. And they don't know that he got signed to Def Jam because Def Jam is owned by Universal, and obviously the bosses within Universal locally were able to propel him ahead of Lady Zamar or Prince KB or whoever else at Universal who sells better than Nasty, but didn't have the big Mabala Noise advance or that much money invested in them.
Okay, so now we know the problem. What's the solution?
The solution is this. Go to the roots of South African hip-hop, like the real South African hip-hop. South African hip-hop did have an American flavor to it, yes. We're not denying that. But we're saying that we can do better than that. We can go to like the Kwaito music. Amapiano is popping right now.
Fucked up.
You know what I mean? Why don't you take these Amapiano beats and rap on top of them? If you can rap on anything, right? They were rapping on jazz before. They rapped on rock records and everything else. That's our sound. Before Nigeria takes Amapiano and makes it pop off,
you think it's
globally? It's already happening. It's already by this December. The biggest Amapiano hits in the world are going to be on the Afro Beats charts in Europe.
And to them, it sounds the same. They don't know the difference because it's from Africa. Afro Beats, Amapiano, same shit. It's both got an A. And
South Africa, Nigeria, it's Africa. To them. You understand? And that's where the money is at. You understand? And it's just like right now, Jerusalem might be dead in South Africa, like effectively. But where the money is at, it's killing. It's popping. So imagine if Amapiano is not popping here, but is popping in Nigeria, and it's not Kabza the Small who's behind it, or Maporisa, or
someone else,
Vigro, or MFR Souls. It's
someone else.
That'll be sad, bro.
That's what you think is going to happen?
That's what's happening. It's not what I think is going to happen. That's what's happening. It's happening right now. Legendary Beats is now making piano beats. SARS on the beat is now, he's also dropped his own.
And they're studying this shit.
They're studying it. They're watching it. They can imagine. They're watching everybody. And they've got money. Imagine they say, okay, you? I'm a piano producer. Where are you from? Fos Loras. I give you $1,000. Give me 10 beats. Some kid in Fos Loras is going to make 10 fire piano beats, sell them to some Nigerian cat. They're going to be smash hits, going to be charting in Europe, UK.
Get Benna Boy.
Done. That's how it works. You know what I mean? Because cats are not capitalizing on what's right in front of them.
So if I'm MFR Souls, what do I do? What do I do? If I'm
MFR Souls?
Yeah, what do I do?
You feature Burna Boy. You feature these cats. You are the one who brings them in. Make sure that they go with you. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're along for the ride. That's it. That's the only way to do it. Make sure that you're along for the ride, and then you get taken with. And there, at least you can control it. But other than that, if you look at it, dog, like this country, it's not even about music anymore. It's like the biggest artist in South Africa is Black Coffee, and he hasn't made a hit in I don't know how long. You understand? It's not even about music anymore. It's like he's much bigger than Master KG. But he's never had a hit as big as Jerusalem.
With all these songs put together.
Even as 10% as big as Jerusalem. So it's not about the quality of music, it's about the brand. You understand what I'm saying? And that is why you could rap your ass off like Zagwe, but a guy like Cassper will still be a bigger rapper. Or you can rap your ass off like Zagwe, and a guy like Nasty C will be the guy who gets an international deal and will only then rap in Zulu in a snippet.
Who do you fuck with?
Everybody. But in terms of like who do I rate, who do I think is hot? Well, like number one, obviously my favorite artist in South Africa is Shroma Jozi.
Why her?
She's special. She's like the future.
What makes it
South
the future?
Africa? If any artist could have the potential to become a future president, she's the only one that I'd elect. She's the only one I think, okay, our country's in safe hands.
Why is that?
She's well educated. She studied African studies. Wow. She's well traveled. She spent time in Tanzania. She spent time in Senegal where she learned how to speak French. She studied in Boston in the United States.
Majozi?
Yes, she's a village girl from Elim. But, she's been around the world. She's seen the world. You understand? Like, Ellen DeGeneres knows who she is. Ellen DeGeneres knows who she is, dog. Yeah, yeah. Ellen, if Ellen knows you, dog, do you think Ellen has a crush on Shroma Jozi?
Yo.
She could be Ellen's second wife one day.
Yeah, levels.
Like she's gone.
That smart, bro.
Like, she's smarter than me.
Wow.
Like, seriously. Like, the first time I hung with her, I was like, damn it, you're smarter than me. Like, for the first time I met someone who's smarter than me, I give you that. Well done. That I was like, you know what? I give it to you.
My Jozi.
Yo, like, really.
Because it takes a lot for you to accept defeat.
Dude, I've never in my life, dude, you understand?
So you think Scoop is a Nasty fan?
He's a Stan. It's
Okay.
different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd tie someone up and put them in the boots of the car and drive over a bridge for Nasty. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Scoop can tell you like what color underwear Nasty will be wearing next week Thursday. Like, he can predict it.
M Studios brought to you by Old Mutual.
Caiaphas Semenya, for me, is a monument. He's definitely like up there, one of the gods of African music. I got to work with such incredible artists. I had Amanda Black here, and I had Maotela Queens, whom I love very much. Also, I had Bongizwe Mabanda, and brother Kwesta, who was also on the song, was really incredible. And we have the legendary Vusi, who was an incredible drummer. And it's such an honor to have everyone on this record.
Like it does the emotion it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like you feel it from the moment it starts.
I think we can just mute the verse and you can do however you feel, and then the arrangement can come afterwards.
Early mornings and late nights, sweet grapes and grapevines, stories and little play fights. It's been a minute since date night.
Getting to bridge that gap between generations for me, I think is really crucial because it's such a massive song, and I just wanted to design the right sounds for it, make it slightly more modern, but also trying to get the spirit of Caiaphas into the song. I'm really honored to be part of it, really.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit mstudios.co.za.